Hi, today I'm going to show you how to set up the Kenwood TM-D710 for crossband repeat mode. The TM-D710, it's a dual band radio that supports crossband repeat with CWID. The first thing you want to do is make sure you set up the CWID. So to do that, you have to hit function, which is these soft buttons here and here and here. There's one that says F. That one is the one you want to hit. Now, to get into the menu, you push in on the VFO. And it brings you into the menu. And you see audio is selected. We just have to rotate it till we get to repeater. So now we're in repeater, so we need to find the one that says repeater mode crossband. We want to make sure that says crossband. That can be locked A band or B band. But we want it crossband. We're going to use UHF to talk to this radio, and then this radio is going to use VHF to talk simplex or into another repeater or whatever. And this is for situations where you're supporting an event or something that you may not have VHF reach into, like a valley, but you can use UHF to crossband to a radio in a vehicle, a support vehicle parked at a higher location that does have visibility to it. So we want to make sure that says crossband. Then we need to go in here and set our call sign. So you do that by rotating the knob until you get to your call sign. You have to enter it one character at a time, and it's not overly complicated, and it doesn't even take very long to do. You just have to make sure it does it, because you have to be legal. So that's done. So that's my call sign, AE5CP. And then you want a repeater ID transmit. Now this can be Morse or voice. I like Morse, so I'm going to set it for Morse. So that sets up the repeater. Now, what we have to do is we have to set up our two sides of the radio to be the frequencies we want. You see on this other radio over here, I have 444-425. That's going to be my UHF uplink to the TM-D710. So I need to, and I prefer to have my B side of the radio be the UHF side. So I'm going to adjust it. To choose the B side, you push in on the volume knobs for these bands. So I hit this one, and the push to talk control went over here. We want to do the same thing, so it gets put in there. So now we got push to talk control on the B side of the radio. I'm going to change the band by hitting function and pushing in on the volume for that band. But the drawback, or the issue with that, is I'm still in memory mode. I need to go to VFO mode, and I'm in the band. If you weren't in the band here, if you were on 147 or whatever, for two repeaters or something that you were listening to, you can do the same thing, function, and then push in on that volume knob to select the band you want to hear. So we're already at 444-800. We need to rotate that down to match our radio. So it's 444-425. Okay. Now you see it also has a tone. Normally, if you were doing this and you didn't want somebody to get into your radio, you would set a tone, but I'm going to take it off for the time being. You set this tone just like you set it on any other frequency. So I don't have a tone. So that side is set up. So now we need to go back to our A side of the radio and control it. So we're on 147-135. If you look on this radio right here, I have it set up for 146-410. So I need to do the same thing here, but again, I'm in memory mode. So I need to go to VFO, 146-095, and I need to change the frequency to 410. Okay, and I don't have a tone. And we need to make sure we set both of these on low power because we're just talking right here. So now we've got our VHF side set up and we have our UHF side set up. The next thing we need to do is put it into crossband mode. To do that, you turn the radio off. You have to push and hold the third soft button at the bottom of the screen and then power the radio on. So now we're in crossband mode. When you do this, you can't do anything to the radio except turn it off. So, how do you control it? Well, you're controlling it from these guys now. AE5CP. Try that again. AE5CP. So now you see when I ID'd there, I was talking into my UHF handheld on 444425. That went out of my antenna here to my antenna that's mounted on the fence at 444 into this radio. This radio then translated that to transmit out on 146410, which was heard over here. And I'll show you again. AE5CP. See, this radio is receiving. And it still sounded like a regular UHF or VHF repeater because you heard the kerchunk just like you would. You heard two key offs on that. So now we'll try it here. AE5CP. And this is me talking on my VHF radio, and you're hearing it on the UHF side. And that's how you set that up. Now, to get back out of crossband mode, all you have to do is power the radio off, press and hold the third button, turn it back on, and you're back into normal mode. If you have any questions or anything, leave me comments and I'll answer them as I get them. Thank you.